there. I'm so excited to see you're back again for day 2. Today's craft for Vacation Bible School, day 2 on Saints, is in regards to Saint Maximilian Kolbe. Now, I'm sure you've learned a lot of information about Maximilian, and at craft time today, we will be putting together this puppet, paper bag puppet, I guess they call them. So I'm looking forward to doing this craft with you. I'll see you in just a few minutes when we get started. All right, we're going to get started here on our craft for Maximilian Kolbe. This is what the finished product will look like. You will have in your bag a kit that's already put together. You'll find it is stapled to a thicker piece of paper and then a thin piece of paper and a plastic baggie with your supplies. So the first thing you need to do is take this off. It's okay if you rip the thinner piece of paper. That is actually going to be something that you can use to kind of practice your sketch of Maximilian, his face and his beard. I think the face is probably the most challenging part, but we will get through this together. So, your supplies you're going to need for today's materials will be a pair of scissors, some crayons. I just used these 4 different shades, 2 different shades of brown, a gray, and a black. You can use whatever colors you want to. And then of course a glue stick and a pencil as well. So the first thing you want to do, if you want to practice, I've already put one together today, so I think I have a good idea of what I'm going to do again, but you're certainly welcome to use this sheet here to practice with some different maybe color ideas you want to do. But I'm going to go ahead and start on the thicker paper, which is what we're actually going to glue on our bag. So the first thing I did is his clothes piece. You can cut them out first, which will make it easier when you start coloring. You can use markers, crayons, colored pencils. You can be very creative with this. So don't be shy with your creativity. So the first piece I cut off was just his clothes. So that's his backdrop for his habit that he wears. This next piece, we have them labeled for you, so you'll see it's the cross. As you may have noticed, most religious men, when they wear their brown habits, you'll notice that some of them have a brown cord that hangs around their waist and down to the side. Most of them have 3 specific knots that they tie. And off to the right side, well, that would be on the right side. On the left side, they actually have a cross that hangs. Now, our puppet wasn't long enough because our paper bags were typical size. We were not able to actually add the cross to hang off of the rope, but I tried to creatively structure it to where it looked like that. But of course, you can place it really wherever you want to. This next piece I'm cutting out, this is the beard. Maximilian had kind of a balding head. He had some hair across the top. He had a very full beard. Now, I know you learned a little bit about Maximilian Kolbe earlier today in the previous video, and he was a priest that had done a lot of amazing deeds. And I think his beard, there's many pictures of him around. Have your parents Google it, but you can find many different pictures of him where he's shaved his beard, and other pictures of him where he has his full beard. But you'll notice every time he has a balding head. So that being said, if you'll notice, I'm cutting this circle here, oval shaped, and this part that I'm cutting across the top is actually the top of his head. And then I'm coming around here to the ears. come around the ear here and then come down to what is actually the center of his mouth. I know that may sound a little silly, but I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment. So once you get those pieces cut out, you can go ahead and color them now if you'd like. Stop the video, pause it, and come back when you're done and ready to glue them on. But I'm going to go ahead and glue them on here to help you continue your process. So the clothes, they're actually going to go right about here. Our bag will have the flap. We're not going to open the bag yet. We'll open that later. So you want to have the flap up, and then take the clothes and you can put it on here. Once you color it, depending upon the color you choose, the words will disappear or be hidden by your color. If they don't, flip it to the other side. It's the same shape on both sides, and that's the same with all pieces. So flip them to the other side if you're worried about those words coming through. And what you want to do is just place it about right here. You don't want these, the tips of the clothes around the neck hole, you don't want those to go under the tab. You just want it to go a little close to it. So I'm going to use my glue stick. Just give it some glue. And get it centered on there. You'll notice it does stick out a little bit on both sides. We did that so that we could add a little notch in here for his rope across his waist. So you can cut that out now just by cutting a little V. Be careful not to cut your bag though. So when you do your cutting, just go very gently, very slowly, and when you feel the thickness of the page get really thick, then just stop cutting. We have a little V there. For the younger ones, if you need mom or dad's help or big sister, big brother's help, that is certainly okay. It's always best to ask for help. So there we go. All right. So the next thing we want to do is center his head. Now again, I had mentioned that these are his ears, this is his head, and this is really half of his face, so it goes directly through his mouth. I'll show you here on my picture. When I drew his face out, we have his mouth, his lips, the top lip here, and the bottom lip down here on his beard. You know, when people have a full-grown beard, you don't see their chin much, so it's all covered up in there. So when you place the beard on, it'll go right underneath, just like that. So let's go ahead and get this glued in. Now, when you glue the head, it's really important not to put your glue all the way at the bottom. If you glue the lip to your bottom of your paper bag or to the clothes, then you won't be able to have them talk, and we would like that to happen. So when you put your glue on, just really kind of stay from ear to ear and then the top part of the head. Mine came down just a little bit further. My glue didn't get on the bottom. Oops. On the bottom of the bag. Oh. There we go. And then of course his beard will go right underneath it. I'm gonna flip it over so we don't see the word beard. Now, on your instructions that came with your kit, you will have a picture of Maximilian, and you'll notice his full beard, you'll see his lips, his nose. So I ended up drawing it on. This was actually sketched on. I drew this on, and then the crayon that I used actually started up here with the beard on his cheeks and his mustache. But the rest of this was drawn on, and be sure to note that Maximilian always wore glasses. So use your creativity and draw your eyes, the nose, and of course, top lip, and your bottom don't forget those well-needed glasses to be able to see. All right. And then of course I added just a little bit of hair up here across the top of his head. I'll let you add those afterwards. For adding the cross and the rope, I measured across my rope from my notch to notch, and then I just cut it off there. Now I tried using a glue stick for this, and it didn't work. So make sure you have some Elmer's glue, and just run a bead of glue straight across from notch to notch. Lay your rope. This makes it look like it's pulled tight against his waist. And the other piece of the rope, I just took and tied. You see here, my piece that hangs down. I just took and tied a little knot at the top, just for decorative look. And then I had a little bit of glue that was still kind of left over. I have a little bit sitting right there, and I just went ahead and stuck the knot against it. This one may not have enough. It doesn't, so I have to add a little bit more over here. But you can put this to either side, because you know on one side they have the 3 knots on their rope. If you can get creative enough, for those of you that are Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts and you've learned how to tie different styles of knots, you can certainly tie those 3 knots. And then the cross, I put over here just because it kind of looked like it was hanging from his rope there. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed putting this craft together with me. I'm excited and very much looking forward to doing another craft with you tomorrow. Thank you. God bless.